A tale of two extremes, snowbirds and firestorms. Florida, land of sunshine, beaches and snow. Recent years have brought startling images of snow flurries dusting palm trees, a sight once unimaginable in the Sunshine State. Meanwhile, across the continent, California battles increasingly ferocious wildfires, turning blue skies into apocalyptic orange hellscapes. These extreme events, once rare, are becoming our new normal, a stark reminder that something is amiss in our climate system. While a single snowfall or wildfire doesn't prove climate change definitively, the increasing frequency and intensity of these events paint a clear picture. Our planet is changing, and not for the better. These events are not isolated incidents, but rather pieces of a larger, unsettling puzzle. Scientists have long warned about the consequences of unchecked greenhouse gas emissions, and we are now witnessing those predictions unfold in real time. The Earth's climate is a complex system, and disrupting it has far-reaching consequences, from rising sea levels to more extreme weather events. The snow in Florida and the fires in California are just the tip of the melting iceberg, a glimpse into a future where extreme weather becomes the norm rather than the exception. Beyond the weather report, the science of a changing climate. The science behind climate change is clear and compelling. For centuries, human activities, primarily the burning of fossil fuels, have released massive amounts of greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. These gases trap heat from the sun, causing a gradual warming of the planet, much like a greenhouse traps heat to nurture plants. This warming effect has a cascade of consequences, from melting glaciers and rising sea levels to more frequent and intense heat waves, droughts and floods. The evidence is overwhelming and comes from multiple sources: rising global temperatures, shrinking ice caps, rising sea levels, and changes in weather patterns. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, the leading international body for the assessment of climate change, has concluded with over 95% certainty that human activities are the dominant cause of observed warming since the mid-20th century. The scientific consensus is clear: climate change is real, it is human-caused, and it is happening now. The human fingerprint, our actions, our consequences. The impacts of climate change are far-reaching, affecting not only our environment but also our economies, our health and our security. Rising sea levels threaten coastal communities, while extreme weather events cause billions of dollars in damage and displace millions of people. Climate change exacerbates poverty, hunger, and water scarcity, particularly in developing countries. The consequences of inaction are dire, and the longer we wait to address this issue, the more severe the impacts will be. The good news is that we have the power to change course. By transitioning to cleaner sources of energy, investing in energy efficiency, and adopting sustainable practices, we can reduce our emissions and mitigate the worst effects of climate change. This requires a global effort, with individuals, businesses, and governments working together to create a more sustainable future. A call to action: choosing our climate future. The choice is ours. We can continue down the path of inaction, facing increasingly severe consequences, or we can choose a different future, one where we take action to address climate change and create a more sustainable world. This requires a fundamental shift in our thinking, from a mindset of short-term gain to one of long-term sustainability. It requires us to recognize our interconnectedness with the planet and with each other, and to act accordingly. The time for debate is over. The science is clear, the impacts are undeniable, and the urgency is real. We must act now, boldly and decisively, to address climate change and create a future where both humanity and nature can thrive. The future is in our hands. What will we choose?